Hey, what's going on, guys? It's LuceyGoosey or Kyle, and welcome to my week number 8 matchup for the Oshean League. I had to remember it right there. I just finished recording week number 7. We are 5-2, going up against a team that is 2-5. The Nimrod Ninetales, coached by Zach T. He hasn't had the greatest of seasons, but I was watching some of his replays, and he said some pretty interesting battles. Definitely a talented coach, and I was really worried going into this game. You can see his team. It's not the greatest team as far as like quality of Pokemon go. Like you see, like we have Mega Metagross, one of the scariest Pokemon in this league, and his best Pokemon on his roster was like Infernape. He also had like Mega Garchomp, so some scary Pokemon, but overall the team is really balanced, and that's what I was really scared about going into this match. However, if you do see what he ended up bringing 4 Pokemon weak to ground type attack, so that really opened the door for Zygarde in this match. I realized there was no 1,000 Arrows resist on this team, so as soon as I got on the team preview, I knew that I needed to let Zygarde kind of put in work in this match, and I did end up bringing a sub coil set, which I feel like probably wasn't the best idea. If I brought a Dragon Dance set, just look at how easy this match could have been. But yeah, I mean, you can't prep for everything. I actually brought sub coil because I figured Amoonguss would be a dedicated switch in, because then foul play couldn't even break my sub because I was coiling up and getting the defense boost, and then I figured I could just sweep through with like extreme speed 1,000 arrows if I'm faster than like Tyranitar or something like that. But that's not even what happened. But yeah, you'll see in the match. But anyways, this is my team. I'll kind of talk about it a little bit. Substitute coil, extreme speed, 1,000 arrows. I don't remember the EV spreads, why exactly I went with them. That 270 might be to outspeed like max speed Tyranitar. But yeah, max attack, almost max attack adamant with 224 and some bulk in there. We can definitely set up on a lot of things, and I was hoping for Amoonguss to be the one that we set up on. Next Pokemon we're bringing is Twitch Prime with the Life Orb and Defiant. I don't think he really had any Intimidators on his team, but just figured to have Defiant there, mine as well, in case he gets like a drop on something. You know, we could have the Defiant there, but figured probably wasn't going to end up happening, and I actually considered running one of the other abilities because it does get Anger Point, and I was like, ooh, if I get crit, that would be really funny. But that's okay. I could have gone Vital Spirit, which was something I was considering because of Spore Amoonguss, but I figured I don't really want to switch into Amoonguss anyways because I can't deal too much damage back to it, and I have Taunt instead, so I can taunt the Amoonguss. So that was something I was considering, but yeah, we do outspeed the Tyranitar, which is good. Hitting things with close combat is awesome in this matchup. Of course, he didn't bring a lot of the things that I was wishing he could, but we still do decent damage to his team. So I still like the set. I thought it was a good bring. We also brought our Mega Metagross with a lot of speed to outspeed Infernape. I do know that for sure, that outspeeds Infernape. Actually, does that outspeed Infernape? I feel like it does. Yeah, it does. 196 attack at 72 HP. Ice Punch, Zen Headbutt, Iron Head, Stealth Rocks. I brought the Stealth Rocks on this week because I'm not bringing Piloswine. But yeah, the rocks were important for me, and I wanted to make sure I could wear down things. We do outspeed the Infernape, but I have a feeling it's going to be Scarfed Infernape anyways, but might as well just do it anyways. Go for the extra precaution and have the that extra speed here. But I didn't really want to, like, going into the match, I was like, maybe I just put in extra bulk because I think it's going to be Scarfed Infernape, but I was bringing webs, so that's why I ended up just going with it, because we do outspeed after webs, so that was really important. And then Ice Punch there was for the Mega Garchomp. I kind of went back and forth whether I wanted Ice Punch or Earthquake, and I ended up going with the Ice Punch, so Mega Garchomp didn't end up coming, so Earthquake obviously was the better idea, but hindsight's 2020, I guess. I have the Charty Berry Araquanid. We brought a set very similar to this, I believe against a Mega Aerodactyl, and he actually missed his Stone Edge. However, I feel like a lead matchup was very possible between Tyranitar and Araquanid. I live a Stone Edge, and I go for Liquidation to kill it, or I get my Sticky Webs up for free. So that was my mindset. I could also Soak Toxic the Amoonguss and Soak Toxic the Klefki. So I thought Soak Toxic was a pretty decent bring this week. Of course, we can't really touch Blastoise too much, but I didn't really expect Blastoise in prep. But yeah, we got a pretty interesting EV spread there. We can also take any hit from Infernape. If it's like Stone Edge Infernape, we could also take that and deal a lot of damage back with the Liquidation. So I just figured this was overall a really nice set. Next Pokemon we brought was the Rocky Helmet Mandibuzz with Roost, Bravebird, Foul Play Knockoff. I figured this was a pretty decent set for this match. No Defog, because I wanted to make sure I had rocks, or not rocks, my webs up in this game. I think I actually have Defog on my Rotom if I remember correctly, but this was kind of my Mega Garchomp answer, and since it didn't come, it wasn't super useful for me, but you're going to see in the match that it was actually pretty useful. This was also my Amoonguss switch in, as he couldn't spore me because I have an Overcoat, so I thought that was pretty interesting. And yeah, we did have Defog on our Rotom. Defog, Overheat, Pain Split, Volt Switch. This could take hits from the Infernape, deal a little bit back, but also just have Pain Split. I mean, my main ways to deal with Infernape were my Zygarde and my what's it called, Mega Metagross anyways, so I didn't really need ways to hit it, just kind of ways to switch into it, and that's what this was for. I could also switch into the Jolteon, which was really nice, even though that wasn't its original intention. Once the battle happened, I was like, oh wait, I need to switch in the Jolteon, so that's what Rotom kind of became. But anyways, we'll go to the replay real quick. Let me see if I can do a smooth transition to the replay. There we go, we are there. I got added in the Discord server, but I'll just ignore that for now. And I think everything looks good. Yeah, it's all good. Okay, so anyways, yeah, this is the battle. You guys can see everything, hopefully. And I'll hit the play button, and I'll try to explain my plays. So he led with his Infernape, actually, and I was like, oh, come on. He's going to try to taunt here, and I can't get up my webs. That was like, I was like, oh, I should have brought Mental Herb instead of the Charty Berry. But he U-turns. So, whew, we get up our webs. Turn number 1. And then he brings in Klefki, and I was like, okay, so he has Prankster Defog, which is interesting. If he goes for it here, at least we know he has the Defog, and we can just go for a Liquidation, and that's what I do. But he has Dual Screens Klefki, which I was really scared about. We do see the Defog, so I'm thinking, okay, he's not a Spikes variant, which is nice, or at least that was my original thinking. And he actually switches out into Amoonguss here as we go into our Mandibuzz. Makes a really good double right here, you guys can see, into the Jolteon, predicting our Mandibuzz, and that is going to be the story of the match, is I go into Mandibuzz on the Klefki every time. Actually, this was onto the Amoonguss, but you guys will see that Prankster doesn't work on Dark types, so I figured Mandibuzz was actually a pretty easy switch into Klefki every single time, because we definitely know he doesn't have Play Rough, and so he can't defog on our Mandibuzz, which is really important, and that's kind of the story of this match. But he does read it really often with his Jolteon, and he plays really well with this Jolteon. He doubles out into Klefki here as I actually go into my Rotom, so I was like, oh, this is great, I can shoot off an Overheat. And you guys can see right here how little this Amoonguss takes from the Overheat. I wasn't offensive, but like, I looked at the calcs, that has to be Super Spadef with Assault Vest, so I was like, wow, this is crazy. This Amoonguss is going to be really tough to break down because of the Regenerator, but he goes for Foul Play, obviously doing nothing to my my Mandibuzz, and I figured Jolteon's probably likely here, but I'm just going to go for the knockoff, get rid of whatever it has, and it has the Choice Scarf, which is huge because now we know that we outspeed it with our Metagross, right? Because it doesn't have the Choice Scarf, so Metagross does indeed outspeed this Jolteon, which is huge. Now, my thought process is, okay, as long as we keep up these webs, I don't think Infernape Z-move anymore, because we see the Z-move on the Jolteon. If we keep up these webs and we weaken the Blastoise, we should be able to win this game with our Metagross. However, screens is a huge problem, so if I can get any damage on the Klefki, that is really big. So we go for the knockoff again because I know I can live any hit, and we actually find out that we are faster. I was hoping I was slower so I can knock off the item on this Blastoise. However, we do end up knocking him off right here. He was never Melt Ice and gets the Rapid Spin away on our web. So I go for Roost here. I just want to see if he has anything to touch me, but he just has Scald, so no Ice Beam, and I was just making sure. Actually, he could have Ice Beam still, but I just wanted to scout for the Ice Beam. I guess we're faster, so maybe he knew that and went for Scald, but I wanted to make sure he didn't have Ice Beam so Zygarde could set up on it later. However, right here I'm just going to go out into my Araquanid. I know I want my webs up, and he predicts that, goes Jolteon, or maybe doesn't predict it, but makes a really good play in a Jolteon. It's a good mid-ground play. So I'm forced to go into my Rotom here, and I know that the Amoonguss is going to come in, but I'm just going to go for the Overheat anyways. It's super important to get damage off on the Amoonguss, and we do 42%, meaning that we actually do more than Regenerator, which is nice. And he's going to switch out now into his Klefki. I really wish I went for Overheat there, but, you know, 63% on Klefki isn't bad. I know I can get my webs up here as he actually goes for Toxic. So we know his full moveset now is Light Screen, Reflect, Defog, Toxic. So he can't actually touch our Mandibuzz at all. Actually, I don't think we've seen Light Screen yet, but I'm pretty sure he was dual screens. And our Mandibuzz is now at full health, as he's probably going to Rapid Spin here, but I can get a free switch in to my Zygarde. He actually had Defog and Rapid Spin, which was interesting, but I'm going to sub here, scout for the Ice Beam just in case, and he actually does have it. So that's really interesting for me to find out, is he has Scald, Ice Beam, Rapid Spin. So I'm thinking there's a possibility that he is in fact Assault Vest. Actually no, he was the Never Melt Ice, but I was kind of interested in what that last move is going to be. But we're at 82%. We can switch out here into our Araquanid and get up our webs once again, as he just goes for the Ice Beam. Being poisoned on Araquanid kind of stinks, because we're going to be we're gonna be taken down really fast. So I'm gonna go for a switch out into Rotompede, expecting a Rapid Spin. That's exactly what happens, and I know now I can Volt Switch out and you know, have a really good play here on Volt Switch out on the Amoonguss. However, I believe he goes out into his Jolteon on my Volt Switch, and we're gonna heal that thing up with the Volt Absorb. So I should have predicted that, but Amoonguss was just coming in every single time before that. And right here, you're going to see I'm going to double Volt Switch, because I don't think Jolteon's going to stay in. If I went for Overheat there, that was a dead left key. However, we don't get that. And I'm going to go for Substitute now, because I know he can't really do anything to me. The worst he could do is Toxic, and he doesn't go for the Toxic. So I can go for my Coil here. As I get up to +1, he's Toxic. So I'm going to go for another Coil, because I know that I'm not able to kill him yet. With the Reflect up, so I'm +2 defense, as he is Toxic. And yeah, we're gonna see he's at 32%. So I was looking at the calculator, and if he's max defense, there's a chance we don't kill. So I go for another Substitute here, so he takes another turn of Toxic damage, which is really important, because now he is in range of 1,000 arrows. So we go for the 1,000 arrows, and it's perfect, because it's just when the Reflect goes away. So he's gonna bring out his Infernape here. And I don't know if I was calcing wrong or not. Maybe I was calcing with the Reflect up, but Extreme Speed doesn't kill. So I didn't want to go for Extreme Speed here and lose my my Zygarde. And there was also something he said in the chat which kind of threw me off my game, where he's like, might as well just start stacking off Mons at this point. So I got really confused. I was like, oh, okay, I think I won the game here. I'll just go for 1,000 arrows. He doesn't have anything to kill me. And it turns out he's got his Hidden Power Ice to kill me. So completely went over my head there. If I go for Extreme Speed, we do about 86%, which is nice. Puts it in range of a ton of things, and that would have just been a lot smarter for us. But losing our Zygarde immediately just made me like, I sighed so much there. I was just like, oh no. Oh man, that was our win condition in this game, and we just lost it right away. I mean, not right away, we're 33 turns into this game, but like, that was our first Pokemon that we lost. Not very good, especially when Webs is such a hard game. But he lost a Spinner, so he has no reliable way to get rid of our Webs now. It's Defog on the Clef Key, and I have a free Mandibuzz switch in every time. We see this Amoonguss is at 67%, brought down to 26, so after Regenerator, it'll be at about 60%. I'm going to go Mandibuzz as he goes out, and Jolteon, really good plays by him right now. They're not like predictions, they're more of just like safe plays. I actually stack off my Araquanid here, because I think I can keep up the Webs for the rest of the game, but they're really safe plays. What it was my Rotom was -2 special attack, so there's no way I can kill his Jolteon on the switch, and it's likely that I go out into my Mandibuzz there. So he's making really good plays, and at this point, I'm just really struggling to keep up with it. But I do go out into my Metagross. I can go for an Iron Head here, or a Zen Headbutt, and I believe I actually go for the Ice Punch, because, actually no, I go for the Zen Headbutt, because Ice Punch wasn't guaranteed to kill Jolteon, and I didn't want to take extra damage. So I went for the Zen Headbutt. I should have just went for the Iron Head and like said, oh, 30% chance for a flinch, and I won't die to a Shadow Ball anyways. But this was a pretty decent play, I think, on my part. We know that the Webs are up, and he is -1 speed. The worst he can do to my Metagross is Pursuit Trap me, which we live, and then I get a free switch out into my Primate. The other thing that was running through my head is maybe he's a Dragon Dance set, so I can go out into this. I'll be faster because of the Webs, and I can kill with a close combat. Goes for Crunch, and we are going to kill with a close combat the next turn. We're going to take our Life Orb damage and be at 51%. So the Clef Key comes out now, and as much as I want to click the Fire Punch to kill this Clef Key, if he clicks Defog, we lose our Webs, and Jolteon and Infernape really just, oh, they do a lot to our team, and we don't know if that Infernape's scarfed yet. So I go out into Mandibuzz, I believe, here, and I almost didn't, but he didn't go for Defog, so I wish I would have just stayed in Fire Punch, because we would have killed this Jolteon. But we do know we're faster than Jolteon because he has the Webs, and I can actually Roost Stall this thing, which is pretty funny. he goes for the Volt Switch as he goes out into Amoonguss. I know Brave Bird does a lot to Amoonguss, but I was calculating with Reflect up here. I think I still went for, actually I went for the Roost, but I should have just went for Brave Bird there. But I am going to go out into my Rotom as he Thunderbolts. We are going to take that though, and I can go for an Overheat here as he actually goes out into his Infernape. We get a crit, which is huge. He's at 40%. If we had gotten an Extreme Speed out on that earlier, that would have been big. But he goes for Focus Blast. I know I can go into my Mandibuzz here. I can live the Focus Blast. I think my best play would have just been to go Metagross and try to start taking lives with Zen Headbutt. But I went Mandibuzz here because I know I could live any hit, and I just go for the Brave Bird as the Amoonguss comes in. Actually, I go for Knockoff, seeing if it was Scarf. But the Amoonguss comes in. I Foul Play expecting the Jolteon, but we don't see any Jolteon. And this turn I Brave Bird, and we are able to kill the Amoonguss. So, huge thing right here. Okay, turn 50, right? This battle has been going on for a long time. He still has the ability to get rid of webs, especially if Mandibuzz goes down. Metagross is technically faster than his entire team, but we have to be careful because he can set up Reflect on us with Klefki, and we don't have Earthquake to kill Klefki. There were so many scenarios running through my head. At this point, I thought Primeape was my win condition because it outsped everything, but if it's Scarfed Infernape, I don't, and there's so many things running through my head right now. I know I outspeed this Jolteon. I believe I go for Roost on this turn as he goes for the Thunderbolt, and we are able to take that Thunderbolt, but I can't take another one, so I'm going to go out into my Tony Stark. If I went for an attacking move right there, Jolteon lived any hit and killed me, killed the Mandibuzz, and I didn't really want to take that and have him be able to defog away webs and be Scarfed Infernape and outspeed me in the late game, or keep Jolteon around and outspeed me in that way. So I want to keep Mandibuzz around so I know he can't defog. And right here, we're going to go for the Iron Head and kill the Jolteon. The crit didn't matter. I definitely calc that. So this is basically the end of the game right here. Turn 53, Klefki comes out. If I click Iron Head, I kill him unless he clicks Reflect. If he clicks Defog, I kill him, but I lose to Scarfed Infernape if he is Flamethrower. Everything's in range of Flamethrower. I believe my Mandibuzz was at 59. Actually, Mandibuzz was out of range of Flamethrower, but I didn't want to risk like crits and anything like that. I had to be super careful. If he defogs here and I kill him with Iron Head, he goes out into his Infernape and has a chance to win the game. So I wanted to make sure he had zero chance of winning the game. So I go out into my Mandibuzz here, making sure he can't defog as he makes this double into Infernape, which is a really nice play. However, I don't think Infernape has anything that can kill me, and if he does, if he's locked into it, that's really nice because then we should be able to outspeed with our Metagross and pick up the kill, or get an Iron Head off on the Klefki. So anyways, we're going to go for the knockoff, get rid of any item it might have, and he has the Choice Scarf, which is huge. Now we know that Metagross wins the game. No matter what, Metagross wins this game. The big reason why I went for knockoff there is if I went for Brave Bird, there's still a chance I technically could lose the game if he stalls me out with his Klefki. Actually, I mean, no matter what, Brave Bird or knockoff is a fine play there. Because I remember sitting here thinking about this play, and I was like, well, if I Brave Bird and kill him, I win the game. If I knock off and get rid of his Choice Scarf, if he is Choice Scarf, I win the game. So I was sitting there and I was like, either play, it doesn't really matter what I do, no matter what, I win the game. So I think I'm going to go for the knockoff just in case, because there always is the chance he doubles back out into his Klefki. And if I go for Brave Bird, I mean, it's not a terrible play, but no matter what, I just wanted to do that. I actually do outspeed as he goes for U-turn here. And he's going to die to our Rocky Helmet. So I know this is GG now. He goes out into his Klefki, and we're just going to click knockoff. And I was like, okay, I can just Brave Bird till he dies. He's actually Shook a Berry, so we didn't have the Earthquake, but that was pretty interesting. And he has Toxic, so we know he can't actually touch us. And he actually didn't have the Light Screen. He had the Protect, which I thought was interesting. But I know he can't touch my Metagross. There's nothing he can do to touch my Metagross. So I'm going to go out into that, and I'm just going to click Iron Head until we win the game. So what a crazy match, guys. What a crazy match. I was sitting here sweating the whole time at the edge of my seat. My opponent played extremely well, making really good doubles with Jolteon, and man, oh man, what a crazy match that was. I hope you guys did all enjoy. I know it's a super long one, and maybe I didn't make the best plays in this game, but I was trying to be safe. If he would have gotten rid of Webs at any point, that could have been really scary. We did find out he was Scarfed Infernape. Mandibuzz was at a range that he was, or that my Mandibuzz was actually healthy enough to take a hit from Infernape, but like I said, that's barring crits and stuff, and at that point, I don't want to risk a crit to lose the game, so that's why I switched in Mandibuzz every single time onto the Clef Key, because I couldn't let him defog away my rocks. Prankster doesn't work on Dark type, so I'm pretty sure that's the same thing with defog. So that's pretty cool. But anyways, one of the things I could have tried to do was like get the defog boost on my Primate, but that obviously wouldn't have worked because I wasn't Scarfed. So yeah, Scarfed Infernape and Scarfed Jolteon, really good brings. I wish I would have made better plays with my Zygarde early game, but turned out we ended up winning 3-0, which is huge. We actually go to 6-2 on this season, which is really big because if we win our next 2 games, we guarantee clinch playoffs. If we win our next game, then we control our own destiny. Well, I mean, no matter what, we control our own destiny right now. But if we win our next game, the best another team can finish is 7-5, and the worst we could finish is 7-5. So it would go down a differential in that scenario. But yeah, if we get 8 wins on the season, we're guaranteed playoffs, which is really nice to know. And yeah, right now we're sitting at 6. So yeah, we pick up the win. Tony Stark with a really nice game. And yeah, Webs is super huge, and they ended up not being on the field at the end, but that was because he was out of Pokemon and just clicking moves. But anyways, hopefully you guys did all enjoy this video. I'm sorry that it was kind of a longer one, especially for a post commentary, but hope you enjoyed nonetheless. I'm out for now. Peace.